Carl Baker from Carillion Rail. I'd like to ask Ian about the ProjectWise that you ended up using. I've used ProjectWise on Northern Hub very successfully. I've used ProjectWise on East West Rail, which was a complete and utter disaster. So you can tell us a few more specifics about this different ProjectWise that you used, and is it going to be rolled out to other Network Rail projects?
Okay, so the ProjectWise that we're using is, you wouldn't like it at all. It's a really, really basic version of ProjectWise that was in place before I started, and it was actually really given to Network Rail IP signaling for them to just work with ProjectWise for small schemes. And so what we've had to do is do a fair amount of workarounds. It works. There's a simple folder structure. It's quite a simple application. It does all of the model integration and stuff that you would want, but it really doesn't do anything fancy at all. So it's not as good, for example, in many respects as the hub version, and there's also performance issues. However, Network Rail are rolling out a new thing, which is a new version of ProjectWise called HDMS, with an interface with EB for document control. I couldn't tell you whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Other than that, we've been told we can't change our version of ProjectWise because all of their attention is on delivering a new system. But we managed to get it to work, don't we? It's not too bad.
Yeah, just to echo what Ian was saying, it's that our system, we've sort of done all this in spite of the system. The system's hindered us more than it's helped us. It's the Northern Hub system and the Crossrail system are much better. It's definitely an area for improvement. Yeah.
We wanted to do it so much, we just did it anyway.
Phil, you were talking about a while ago now. You were talking about new fleet for the Metro. I presume they're much better performing trains performance-wise and can do a higher speed than the stocks that you've currently got. As part of the renewals programme you're doing, are you actually aiming for a more enhanced system, or just getting just renewals as a like-for-like basis?
There'll be no change in speed because we've got so many stations. It's rapid acceleration and braking that we're after. So we can get them moving quicker between the thing, but no particular speed increase on the existing system, but some of the new fleet, the hybrid fleet that may go to further reaches, might be different types of vehicle or modified vehicles. Yeah.
More questions? Up the back.
Hi, it's Andy Zobel from the S&C Track Renewals. A couple of questions on BIM. Sort of two-part question, really. Is that level 3?
Sorry, I wouldn't class it quite as level 3
right.
Because really the only interface with it is ProjectWise, and with level 3, you also you've got to consider how other people, non-designers, are accessing the information. And so even though we might, and we are using, for example, the survey equipment and techniques to point lasers, and people just drill holes where the lasers go, that's still generally off a drawing that's been designed and then printed on paper and then given to someone on site. And also, I think level 3 would imply a lot more accessibility, web interface, a lot more sophistication of the actual access to all of the underlying data and more besides. So I think I'd say it is at level 2, just about. And you know, I don't envisage. I'm not quite sure how Network Rail, to be fair, globally will get to that level 3 sort of state. I've got my own ideas about it, but I've already talked too much and too long.
Right,
so
I think this is it's kind of associated with King's Cross, where we're looking at doing a federated model.
yes,
And as far as I'm aware, it's on the level 2, but I thought that was much more basic graphics than what you've shown there.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, the level of VR is actually independent of what BIM is. It's, you know, you could have almost no VR and be BIM level 3. It's not about kind of how fancy it looks. It's about the access to asset data and then how that gets gone in.
Right. So I've just got one more part to my question. We are looking at using it mainly for sort of underground buried services, tracking a couple of sewers and foundations and track drainage. Have you done anything along those lines for Liverpool?
Yes, yeah, we've got sort of topo and ground penetrating radar, and we have modelled some underground systems. We've got underground a service tunnel running across the station itself, which we're going to infill it, but it's point clouded, and so yeah, we have included drainage systems in the model, but we haven't generally tried to do anything really fancy with them. It's just basic data.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Question down here.
So just from the Northern Hub experience, leaving the rendering the model, you should leave it right to the end. So it will look like an engineering wireframe till quite late on, so render it last, because then that takes up more computing time. I'd just also like to wave the flag for the network arch bridge at Ordsall Court, by the way, which there were no drawings.
Yeah.
That was fabricated by Severfield from a 3D model. So that was actually progressive assurance in space. There isn't a single drawing for it. So
I think
I'd wave the flag.
that's more what you might want to call BIM level 3. That yeah, we're just not at that really.
Okay, final question from Dave.
Yeah, just a quick one for Phil. It looks like you've done quite a lot of innovation on the maintenance side there. Have you had any discussions with Network Rail maintenance teams and offered advice? Because they're obviously going to have more limited areas, limited access.
That's a very tough question for a Geordie to remain politically correct. But yes, we did help them put the wire up at Brockley Winds. We've loaned them about 500 metres of cable and equipment and manpower. And yeah, we are talking to them. And, you know, whatever people think, we do interface very closely at a local level when there are problems. And it's in both our interests because we both travel over the same route. So if we've got trains stood, it's of no benefit to anybody. So we do work closely together, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask you to show your appreciation to Phil, Ian and Ken?